I always get this question. Underseats feel not very strong. I also don't want a big subwoofer at the rear. Is that possible? Welcome to BTS Audio, your home for audio solution. And this question where you want a high output, but you don't want to consume any space is a critical one. Always we have that fight, space against output, or output against space. So underseats are good, but most people feel that the output is not quite enough for their need. So we now have to revert back to the rear. Now, rear speakers, most of them obviously will consume your boot space, but the question is, how much space am I willing to use for the subwoofer compared to the one that I want to use for my other work? So there are small subwoofers. There are some powered subwoofers that are not quite big. They are mostly 8 and 10 inches. They are not quite big, and the sound reproduction is more powerful than an underseat. And in most cases, it's enough for most people because you are not anyway blasting for concert level output. So unless there are some people who go out and open their boot like this, and then they want the sound to be reproduced in a manner where they are seated there, it's not really for that kind of output, but at least it's good enough for the cabin, for the car. So I have such subwoofers, they are powered. See, they have their amplifier here, a proper class D amplifier. This is one good thing. They also have remote where you can connect a remote to the front and you control it on the front, or at the front there. These subwoofers, as you can see, this is almost 20 amps. You multiply by 12, that's around 240 watts. So this speaker, 240 watts, it's a good output. 240 to 300 watts is actually the most of the RMS output for even some subwoofers that you have to put a cabinet where we have a box and a subwoofer. They are mostly between 200 and 300 watts. So this one is capable enough to reproduce that kind of sound. As you can see, this is an 8-inch. We have 8-inch and 10-inch. And if you can look at that size, the size is not that big, and it's also slanted so that it sits perfectly behind that seat. And as you can see, look, it barely uses any space. And this way, it's quite heavy also, so it will not be moving around in the boot. And this one is going to give you have all these extra other space, small, and in that case, you get your bass output and you will still save a lot of space. So visit our site, btsaudio.co.ke, and you will find these and many more speakers there. Depending on the cabin space, your boot space in the car, you can always match either a 10-inch, an 8-inch, and also even 12-inch. There are some 12-inch that are quite small, and even we also have those what we call the down firing, where you can put the subwoofer facing downwards like this, and you can even put your package on top of it. So there are some of those designs. So visit our website and you can see the variety that are there and you can choose. Thank you.